Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is August the 21st, 2024. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. We made it to the halfway point yet again. Another Wednesday in the books. I gotta say, today was better. I feel like you're not gonna get as long of a work rant today, but we did have some conflict into resolution. So, or at least for now. So work was busy again. I guess we're like in that mid-year peak. It kind of just came up and popped us in the mouth. Maybe not. Who knows? But it's been another busy day, and I had the same guy come around again. But this time we held frame, so they just kind of poked around and didn't really get in the way this time. They really didn't get the opportunity. But that being said, we had a bit of a dust up, and I realized like after that moment where I'm like biting my tongue to like not say some extra stuff that I want to say, I'm like, Isaiah, you have to like do the corpo thing where like you talk to a higher up. So talk to a lead, which then I talked to my supervisor, and my supervisor's a pretty cool guy. So, we talked, and then next thing I know, I see the guy again later, and he's doing the trash buggies. And then he goes away, and we don't have to talk. We don't have to do anything extra. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I like. I like to see that. That's a change I can believe in. So cool, sweet, whatever. Like I had said to my soup, I'm pretty sure I can work with this guy. I just, I don't want to be told what to do in my own station. That's weird, right? So, we'll call things squashed. So yeah, there was that. There's peace now. Let's see. Food corner. Yeah, let's talk about last night because it was rough for me. It's been kind of a rough day physically for me. Last night I had classic pasta bolognese, the old red sauce. Let's see here. Big salad, two bolillo rolls this time, and maybe this is where I fucked up, But two bolillo rolls. Did I say the big salad? Yes, whatever. All that, pretty staple outside of that. It was good. It was yummy. No problems, right? I didn't eat anything extra weird. But yeah, I go through the rest of my night. Everything seems fine, whatever. Go to bed at a decent time. And I wake up feeling like so off. And it's like the middle of the night, 3 o'clock. And I got my fan on me. I feel like I'm cold, which is technically a good problem to have even if you're on the tail end of summer. Like, hey, I'm happy to not wake up in a sweat, right? But I wake up and it feels like something or like has just been sitting on my chest, like not my chest, my stomach, right? And I just feel very nauseous and very unwell. And turns out, let's say it's a constitutional issue that I wind up just having to deal with more or less throughout the whole day, here and there. So that wasn't too fun, but overall, like we got through. I overall felt all right. Also, there was ice cream at work, so that's cool. A little ice cream treat. Also, I made a dumb joke that I had to like explain to one of the maintenance workers because I was talking about how I was like over ice cream, like I want other stuff. Like, we should be cycling this. Shouldn't be redundant. If you're going to keep giving me my treats, give me different treats. Usually we would be on our like second round of funnel cakes this year, I feel like. And we've only had like maybe one. Like, so you know what I mean? Like, switch it up. Like ice cream. I don't know. But anyway, I made this stupid reference to fucking King Midas. And it wasn't even like that good of a fucking reference. But then like the guy goes, who? Midas who? And I'm like, King Midas, right? You know the story of Midas, the Midas touch. He's like, hey, yeah, I heard about it. Da 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 gold. So I had to explain the whole mythology to him, and he goes, oh, well, I didn't know all that. And I'm like, yeah, it really sucks when you have to explain the joke, right? So yeah, there was that. That was my day. We've talked about that. I still found a way to go along. Love that for me. But yeah, overall, I'm good. I am feeling better, so that's dope. But yeah, I guess I just went too hard in the paint, pasta wise. I don't know. But yeah, so there you go. That's my day. Let's go ahead and do our startup, and then we'll go ahead and get into some news. Also, to any potential new listeners who don't know my cone ice cream order at work, it is chocolate vanilla in a cup with a cone. That is, to me, the peak way. I used to do sprinkles. I don't like sprinkles anymore. Kind of feels overrated. Call me crazy. Anyway, let's get into it. We got some updates I wanted to talk about. It's kind of oops all updates a little bit, but we kind of spore out into some other stuff. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get through it. From Reuters. Romanian police raid Andrew Tate's home amid human trafficking probe. So yeah, we're so back, baby. Whew. Shout out to the alphas. Top G's. Anyway, internet personality Andrew Tate's home near Bucharest was raided by law enforcement on Wednesday, a Reuters witness said, as Romanian police launched 4 searches in an investigation into crimes including human trafficking and sex with a minor. A self-described misogynist, social media influencer Tate has gained millions of fans by promoting an ultra-masculine lifestyle that critics says denigrates women. Now, I gotta be real, like, last time I think I saw Andrew Tate was, he was, like, in an airport talking about bumping his own crypto and shit. I'm like, bro, that's crazy that they let this man out of the country, and he's just at it. He's just still scheming. He's still scamming. But yeah, it turns out in July, they rescinded the order that allowed him to just travel abroad, which I'm like, yeah, that's good, considering he is a fucking, like, alleged sex offender and, like, outright, like, just criminal. Maybe he shouldn't just be allowed to travel abroad. Maybe he doesn't come back, right? Like, that crossed your mind? I don't know. Whatever. He was already indicted in mid-2023, along with his brother Tristan and 2 Romanian female suspects for human trafficking, rape, and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women, allegations they denied. Now, he's making a big spiel. Anything to put me in jail except to give me a trial. No trial, no judge. This country is crazy, Tate told reporters as he was taken to the car. He was not wearing handcuffs. So, AKA, they came in with the raid. They're like, hey, we're back again. Oh my God, we're back again. And, served him his papers and made him sit out in the car. And he's making this fucking speech like he's like some oppressed citizen. And it's like, no, dude, like they're running you through your fucking paces because you're a big time fucking criminal. You're a fucking huge creep to a criminal degree. Sorry. Like, that's just how this works. Even in Romania. Like, literally, dude has like been in streams or like made content talking about how, yeah, he likes living in Romania because he thinks he can just get away with all these crimes. It's like, did you not think this shit was gonna come back to bite you in the ass, dude? Like, ugh, like, sorry, bro. Like, also, what is up with his fucking shirt there? Like, how are you as a man gonna have other men call you daddy, bro? Like, why do you have that on? Take that shirt off. What the fuck are we doing here? Switch that up. Anyway, is there anything else I really wanted to pull from this? No, we're good. Yeah, let's go ahead and hit the next thing. I have an update from Sicily and the what is it? The super yacht. The Bayesian, which I'm so glad I got that name right. I was like, yeah, I nailed it. Y'all know I'm terrible with pronunciation. So whenever I get one right, I'm like, score one for the good guys. I'm probably not the good guys. Anyway, from the Associated Press. Divers find 5 bodies during search of super yacht wreckage after it sank off Sicily. Sicily. I'm silly for saying Sicily like that. One still missing. Divers searching the wreck of a super yacht that sank off Sicily found the bodies of 5 passengers Wednesday, leaving one still missing as questions intensified about why the vessel sank so quickly when a nearby sailboat remained largely unscathed. It's cruel. It's a cruel act of the powers above. I don't know, dude. It's crazy because y'all know how I said that thing about how like this is giving the Titan vibes or whatever from that submersible that got fucking crunched and everyone died. I was like, I know this is weird. I know it doesn't correlate, but like looking online, obviously people felt the same. Like they're like, oh, looks like this is becoming an annual sacrifice of our millionaires. And it's like, oh, I know it's cringe. I know it's fucked up. Like apparently they found them. It was Lynch and his daughter, I think between like 2 mattresses. Like, damn, like that's obviously, it sucks. Just like getting crushed in like a Coke can fashion. Yeah, it sucks. But it's like, I don't know. I still have questions about why they were out there in said super yacht doing super yacht, millionaire shit. But I mean, hey, I guess it is what it is at this point. Maybe some of these questions may never get fully answered. But let's see. Let's read a little bit further. The Beijing, a 56 meter or 184 foot British flagged yacht, went down in a storm early Monday as it was moored about a kilometer or half mile offshore. So that was another question I have answered. Civil protection officials said they believe the ship was struck by a tornado over the water, known as a waterspout. I believe that like the whole disaster took about 16 minutes. And I think in the process of what happened, the ship gets like flipped and then they were able to maybe correct it. But then it's like the damage was already done. And even though like the ship was supposed to be designed to like not have like catastrophic failure where like water gets in and it sinks the way that it did, it just happened that way. Like nature just fucking literally just dunked on it, to pound on that thing. And, we have what we have here. The fate of the 6 missing passengers had driven the search effort, including British tech magnate Mike Lynch, his 18-year-old daughter, and associates who had successfully defended him in a recent U.S. federal fraud trial. So I guess maybe that's part of the reason why they were partying on this yacht. He's like, yeah, dude, I just beat the case, bro. Chew. I wonder what the playlist was, Like, was it some, like, gangster shit? Was it just chill, like, fancy guy vibes? I don't know. But, yeah, sadly, I guess shit went dark. What else would I want to get here? I feel like that might be it. Like I said, I know that there's still one person that's missing. I don't, you never know when it comes to these kind of situations if you are going to wind up finding exactly everybody. But it does look like at this point, anyone that was not rescued, like as of Monday, probably is, done. So, obviously, my condolences and all that, but I get it. I do get why that energy kind of, pops up, whether it's like people can be like, oh, that's so gross, that's so morbid, like that's a life, all life matters, it's precious, you don't even know his whole story, blah, blah, blah. But like people hear CEO and they're like, yeah, no, I don't fuck with that person, I don't like that person. Especially when you hear like, oh, there's associations of fraud involved, because that means probably people who are like worse off are probably getting screwed somehow, some way, and this guy's getting off and getting away with it. So I do think there's more investigations on this guy potentially, but I mean, obviously it's kind of maybe a moot point now, being that he is. So, like I said, obviously condolences, flowers. There was more than just this millionaire guy involved. So obviously it's just funny, and I do agree with the sentiment, obviously, that all life is precious, and you just don't want to squander it. It shouldn't be lost in any kind of fucking way. Like, obviously, I get it. I shouldn't make light of things, but hey, I do get it. I get the sentiment. I understand it. And what am I going to do? Podcasters are going to podcast. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, let's move on to what I will call more or less the second act of this episode, which is DNC Day 2, baby. We're so bad. See, this is why you need the music. You know what I mean? Solid music, that'd be great. I'd be kicking this shit off. But who am I going to pay? I can't afford that for 4 days of coverage. Psh, nah, let the Daily Show do that. That's why we got Jon Stewart back, right? Anywho, from CNN. Takeaways from the second night of the Democratic National Convention. So I don't know how much I really want to stick on to this. Hopefully I kind of just get to riff mode here. But Barack and Michelle Obama electrified the Democratic National Convention on Tuesday, delivering back-to-back speeches that eviscerated Donald Trump and urged Americans to reject the Republican nominee once and for all. The former First Lady, in one of the most memorable speeches in convention history, called the Democrats to drop the Goldilocks complex and work hard to elect Vice President Kamala Harris. I kind of feel like what that statement is essentially like, hey, stop looking for the perfect candidate. You have a candidate that's good. Run with Harris. That is once again one of those moments that makes me go, oh, I don't like what you're talking about here, because like the criticisms are worth noting. Like if you are a person who's undecided in terms of like, hey, I really am upset about how the Biden Harris administration has handled the war on Israel and Gaza. I have a problem with that. They are clearly not answering that, and they've more or less decided to just kind of just let it be what it be. And we're going to get a little bit more into that before we close out. But like, you can understand how that does make you, hey, like we have delegates literally here that are representing us. Like this is our moment to kind of talk about this shit. But essentially, you know, Lady Michelle Obama is like, don't worry about that shit. Don't just fight and do the thing for Kamala. And it's like, look, I do get it. I understand that. But also, I understand the beef. I also want to add this, too. I've kind of talked shit, poke fun at Obama, Michelle Obama. But this is definitely one of her better speeches. I felt like, oh, I'm kind of fucking with what you're saying. Like, and it kind of goes to this thing that I kind of mentioned the other day where it's like, I just have this nauseating NutraSweet feeling about this whole thing where like I am kind of getting caught by the vibe, like the liberal in me, like, get it, man, like you're getting back-to-back Obamas right now, dude, like damn, dude, it's feeling like 2008 again. And like that's cool and all, but like you also get this feeling in this backbeat of like there's something very wrong here, and I know that these motherfuckers are not going to fix anything, even in the best case scenario where we get what we want and Harris wins. And that's very frustrating. And that's why you do have people who are actively upset about this and protesting while this shit is going on. But let's see, I do want to pull a little bit more quotes from the article from Michelle herself. We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before, and that's what Obama said. I skipped ahead. But she does say something about Trump trying to get a black job, which I was like, oh, okay, that's very clever. Essentially in reference to the fact that, Trump said this whole thing about black jobs, and then he's been having to like clarify what a black job is. But then meanwhile, it's like, I mean, we literally had a black guy in the presidency. So what is a black job, dog? So I thought that was a good get. Obviously, I'm not referencing the quote correctly, but fuck it. But yeah, Obama also then, was also a part of this. And I thought he pretty much carried this whole day. He did what, you kind of want him to do. I really do feel like more or less like the Obamas have kind of become the Kennedys of our time. And like when you get an Obama speech, you're getting like a vibe boost, right? Like it's essentially like a Flavor Flav effect. You just feel like more excited about what you're doing within the party, right? Like he's charging you up to vote. So I think he did that. I know that some critics were like, oh, he didn't do policy, but that's why Bernie Sanders did. And like, you're going to have Walz who's probably going to talk policy or whatever. I'm like, bruh, every time you have Obama talk about policy, people are just going to fucking put him on a cross for it anyway. And maybe this is, once again, the liberal in me, the Obamaist or whatever, who comes out to want to defend him. But it's just so weird that it's like, no matter what, leftists are always going to be mad about whatever he has to say or he does. It's like, he just can't win. And it's like, dude, I get it. I understand. I've come around on this conversation. But literally in this time frame, I think with what he said for the day, I think it was more or less perfect. Like I don't know what you fucking want out of here. Like people are gonna be pumped. Everyone's happy. Once again, you have back-to-back Obamas. Awesome. Obama. Let's talk about some other people who came up to speak. Second Gentleman, which I gotta say, obviously I love it. I want Kamala to win, but that does have a interesting twang to it, right? Second Gentleman, Doug Imhoff, told the story of their relationship and why his children call the vice president Mamala. Maryland Senate candidate Angela Also Brooks explained how Harris came to become someone she considered to be a friend and a mentor. So there's that. There's more references to Obama's speech. I kind of want to skip that. Like I said, if you want to get it, obviously go look at the clips. They are very, like, it is a good speech. I did overall enjoy both Michelle and Barack's speeches. I thought they were pretty good on the nose there. In terms of like what Doug had to say, really kind of brought in like the family notes, talked about like how like they he left this super awkward like voicemail on her phone, which like Kamala keeps, and like every anniversary she plays it and like jokes about it, talks about her laugh and how much he loves her laugh, and it's like, okay, that's very cute, that's very meet cute, awesome, we love that, that's fun. Here we go. Yeah, let me read some more of this Michelle Obama thing. Obviously, I really wanted to talk about it, and I'm kind of just in the weeds a bit. The key role Michelle Obama played Tuesday was to urge the audience to keep their eyes on the prize. Obama told Democrats to avoid the foolishness of waiting to be asked to act, and made a personal appeal for everyone to do something between now and Election Day. Kind of want to skim that. She also took a jab at Trump's June debate claim that migrants are stealing black jobs. There we go. Who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs, she said. And everyone's like, ah, we love you. Clap, 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 clap. And then I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Also, her outfit, pretty good. I usually don't really, hey, this is hot take. Oh, I know, Isaiah, you misogynist. I'm not a big pantsuit enjoyer. I really am not. But the outfit she had, I like that shit. That was good. Give it an 8, 9 out of 10. Love it. Like I said, I'm Hoff talking about Mamala. That's cool. Love that. Love that we're just like riffing off our names, like no matter what side of the fucking conversation we're in. This is another aspect that I'm kind of just gonna just literally lily pad around. Was they had some GOP speakers come up in defense of Harris. So like, you had people who used to work under Trump, like one of those people. They're like, oh yeah, I was a staff person, and now I'm not with him. Like he called his people basement dwellers. Oh, so he called them otakus. Okay, I mean they kind of are. So what? He had the right read on that one. Then there was like other people. Like who's this motherfucker? Mayor John Giles of Mesa, Arizona, a self-declared lifelong Republican who said the Biden-Harris administration had delivered results for his conservative community. I have an urgent message for the majority of Americans who, like me, are in the political middle. John McCain's Republican Party is gone, and we don't owe a damn thing to what's been left behind, Giles said. So let's turn a page. Let's put country first. Bro, I'm sorry. If I was a Trumper, I would boo this man so hard. I would call this motherfucker a Benedict Arnold traitor. I don't get that angle. Like, I don't think that really carries to any of these kind of people. But then again, I don't know who we really are in the middle. Like, once again, I do feel like there's the undecided people who are like, hey, I have this issue with Israel, Gaza. That bothers me. But I feel like whenever I hear someone who's like kind of a Republican moderate, whenever you hear their defense, they're like, well, especially post Biden leaving, it's like, I kind of need to like hear more from Harris. Like, what does she have to say? And it's like, no, what you mean is you want to hear something you don't like about Harris, and then you'll latch onto that and be like, see, this is why I always had to vote for Donald. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can never do it. Oh, I'm sorry. They're taking me away now. Bye. Slams door. Like, they don't want to vote Democrat. They never were going to vote Democrat. I've seen plenty of people. I work armed to armed with some of these motherfuckers, sadly. So it's like, hey, I get it, dog. You just don't want the beef. You don't want to say you're a Trumper out loud. I get it. That's embarrassing. It's very cringe behavior. So, you know, which also I love that like Obama was even able to like weave in that like kind of like young millennial Zoomer talk where it's like, yeah, we all have that cringe grandpa, but like, you know that like, hey, they're okay at the end of the day. You got to try to like work with them and make it work. Overall, we all want to do that on both sides of the conversation. You know what I mean? Like that was also something that Obama mentioned, which another aside here. I appreciate and love that about Obama, whether you love or hate him, whatever. I feel like if you give him a task, if you tell him, hey, we need you to hit this and this and this note, he will do that. Whereas like his antithesis, which you could say is Donald Trump, he also can understand the assignment saying, hey, you have to hit these notes, talk about this and this and this and this and that. He can do it, but like halfway through the conversation, kind of how like I can't stay on the shit and I have to kind of start doing it my way. Donald Trump has to do it his way, okay? He has to start talking and like slinging insults, talking shit, yapping a little bit extra, stretching it out, really putting his Sinatra twang on it. You know what I mean? Because that's his style. He can't help himself. But Obama can give you what you want. He will lay it out for you in a very nice, eloquent way, and like you'll be like, wow. That's great. Yeah, yes, we can. and it works. You believe in the fucking bullshit change that he's selling you, even though it's not real. It's kind of not real. It's kind of like, oh, it's actually just kind of progressive, whatever. Though it's not even progressive. It's moderate shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's move on. There was more people that stepped up and talked. Bernie Sanders, since his 2016 presidential campaign, Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders has maintained a strong following among young and progressive voters. They love him. They can't stop sucking this guy off. Which, honestly, I've said this before. I know it maybe sounds like I'm a Bernie Sanders hater. I'm not. I respect the guy. I like the guy. I believe in the shit that he says, especially like around the time everyone was obviously geared up and really wanted to be president. What I think I hate the most about Bernie Sanders is the fucking fandom, dude. Like, it's just annoying. Like, leftists really look at this guy like he was their great fucking last hope. And the fact that that guy got snubbed and Hillary got picked, they've never let it go, and they just want to burn the whole shit down again. And it's like, dog, okay, I get it. I understand. But yet you have no fucking plan, and you just want to be mad, and you just want to grumble, and you just want to... And it's like, dude, okay, whatever. But once again... I'm glad that Bernie Sanders is here, but to me, it was just like AOC being here. Like, I don't really understand outside of the fact that you're just adding his progressive face and voice to this, and that's a bumper sticker for what you want, which is great. Awesome. I'm glad he's playing his fucking position. Like, I don't know. But once again, they got to vault him up and say he did it better than everyone else somehow. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Let us be clear. This is not a radical agenda, Sanders said, but let me tell you what a radical agenda is, and that is Trump's Project 2025. I mean, perfect. Well said. I fucking totally agree. Because I do hate, once again, that they try to market Kamala Harris as some progressive, new movement. And it's like, no, dude, she's just younger than Joe Biden, and we like that. And yeah, we like that she's a woman. We like that she's a woman of color. Hell yeah, we'd love to see that. She's got no crazy emails that we know about. Like, awesome. Put her in the White House, baby. Let's see here. Was there anything else I really wanted to pull? Oh, yes. Let's close out on the roll call. They did the roll call. They didn't have to do this. They did an online roll call, especially after the fact that they ousted Biden, more or less. Like, we were holding off on that until Biden then said, hey, okay, I'm out, Jack. Then it's like, okay, yeah, let's do this roll call right now. So we are locked in. Harris is in. And now they more or less did the ceremonial version. But yeah, let's just go ahead and do the rundown here. The roll call, a tradition of political conventions, was turned into an hour-long primetime mashup led by DJ Cassidy of songs associated with each state, while representatives from the states delivered short speeches as they casted delegates' votes for the president. I will say that the surreal moment was Lil Jon being there, tweaking the words from to the window to the wall to become VP Harris, Governor Walz. My mind was blown. I guess that is the political equivalent of Hulk Hogan ripping off his shirt, talking about body slamming Kamala Harris or whatever the fuck. But granted, I will say at least Lil Jon didn't get weird about it, didn't get strange about it. He just did his job, collected his fucking check probably, and got on about his night. Good for him. Also weird that Governor Gavin Newsom cast the state's vote for Harris to the tune of Lamar's Not Like Us. Motherfucker, you are not like us. Fuck you. Like, it made me very uncomfortable. Like, he was like so hype. He was so in the fucking like, I would have tomato. Like, yo. But it was cute, I guess. Once again, the whole idea of this is to get you hype, is to get you fired up. You're supposed to come out of this fully determined to get Harris into the White House, right? Like, that is the goal of this at day 2. And then they closed out with Harris and Walls doing like a video call in or whatever. And I think Walls is going to be talking tonight or what have you for day 3, but we'll cover that tomorrow. Let's talk about the offshoots. I already know. I feel it in my bones. I haven't looked at the time. I've ran long. But like this DNC talk, like it's allowing me to really get it out. So fuck it. We're getting it out. At least the best I can. You know, I'm obviously missing some shit. If you want to get the whole speeches, by all means, go look them up. I mean, like I said, they were pretty interesting speeches. But from CBS, escaped Mississippi inmate taken into custody in Chicago after barricading inside restaurant near DNC site. All right, so let's talk about this guy, man. Joshua fucking Zimmerman. A suspect who escaped during a court hearing in Mississippi in June was found in Chicago and taken into custody after a standoff with police in a West Side restaurant, authorities said. This all went down at a seafood junction in Chicago. Zimmerman, who, let's just pause. The first picture I saw of this guy, it put me on the floor. Because, one, we'll start about the good stuff. Great beard. Looks like it's like a fucking lace front beard. That doesn't even look real, brother. That's a freeway rocking motherfucking, that's better than Rick Ross ass beard. I fuck with that. Cool. What the fuck is that hairline, though? That's crazy. And you know what? Maybe y'all are going to call me ableist for that. Because it's like, oh, wow, you shouldn't make fun of the criminal who killed a woman. But, like, he did kill someone. So, sorry, I am going in on this guy. But really, what's also criminal is the barber job. Who did this man's fade? I really want to know. Like, that's maybe something I need to deep dive on the Patreon or something. Because that is also a crime. That motherfucker, if I was Zimmerman, that's who I would be shooting. Okay? First and foremost. That's why I'm fleeing Mississippi. For killing my barber. For doing this to me. And I pay him. That's crazy. Were there no mirrors? Anyway, needless to say, he doesn't look like that now. I kind of could get how he could be on the lam. If you saw this photo and then you see the other photo to the fucking, you know, right next to him, obviously the photo who he is now, where he's at now, no crazy freeway Ricky Ross beard, no crazy fucked up hairline. He went for the bald angle. Looks like a whole new man. So I get it. That's a whole new alias. That's a whole new motherfucker. But yeah, let's, how did this go down? Let's see. CBS affiliate WERG-TV in Memphis reported that Joshua Zimmerman escaped from the DeSoto County Courthouse in Hernando, Mississippi on June 14th. Authorities said he changed from a jumpsuit into civilian clothing and left through a door where no officers were around, the station reported. Zimmerman had been charged with attempted murder and armed robbery in an incident in South Haven, Mississippi in September of last year. WREG reported Zimmerman was accused of attacking an elderly man who had hired him to work at his house. I just want to smash cut, make sure I got. Zimmerman was also awaiting extradition to Houston, where he is charged with murder, the Marshals Service said, according to the Associated Press. Yes, I wanted to make sure I got that right. The WREG reported that charge stems from his alleged involvement in a shooting that left a woman dead in a Houston motel last September. But yeah, they confronted him at the Seafood Junction, and then he proceeds to retreat to the ceiling and he barricaded himself inside. But they were able to get to him. So, obviously, that's good. Glad that they were able to neutralize the threat there. Weren't any extra casualties or anything like that. All right. Let me go ahead and close out with our last bit of DNC side news. I'm going to go ahead and take my little break. Then we'll go ahead and come back and close it out. Oh boy. Oh. Oh me, oh my. Give me a second. Speaking of Rick Ross, making all them noises. Ooh. Maybach music. Okay. From the Associated Press. 56 arrested after clashes with police outside Israeli consulate in Chicago during DNC. Oh, damn. I'm sorry. I'm looking at this cop, and he just looks like Rodney Dangerfield, just get like at the bottom of a mosh pit. Anyway, 56 protesters were arrested following violent clashes with police in Chicago on the second night of the Democratic National Convention, a situation the police chief called a danger to our city. Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling said Wednesday that those arrested outside the Israeli consulate, about 2 miles or 3.2 kilometers from the United Center where Democrats were meeting, showed up with the intention of committing acts of violence and vandalism. As the Chicago Police Department, we did everything that we could to de-escalate that situation, Snelling said during a news conference. But there's only so much de-escalation that you can attempt before it becomes excessive repetition. 30 of the people detained by police were issued citations for disorderly conduct, according to Chicago police. One person was arrested on a felony charge of resisting police, while 9 were charged with misdemeanors, including disorderly conduct, resisting officers, battery, assault, and criminal damage to property, police said. The intense confrontations between pro-Palestinian protesters and officers began minutes into the demonstration after some protesters, many dressed in black, their faces covered, charged at a line of police who had blocked their march. They eventually moved past the officers, but were pinned in several times throughout the night by police in riot gear who did not allow protesters to disperse. Snelling said protesters showed up to fight with the police. We were not the initiators of violence, but we responded to it, Snelling said. And now this is the one quote that they have in this article from anyone on the other side. The rest of it is sandwiched between more or less Snelling and everything he has to say about this incident. Hatim Aboudiye, co-founder of the U.S. Palestinian Community Network, put the onus on police to keep the peace when asked about the clashes between pro-Palestinian protesters and police. The police only have one responsibility here. They have the responsibility of not infringing on our First Amendment rights. While I do agree, I also do understand that the way this is set up, like, it is just one of those set to fail situations. Like, and I do like that at least this article goes to separate to say, hey, like, this is only a chunk of the people protesting. Like, the rest of the people stuck to the protesting routes, you know, everything has more or less been peaceful. I haven't really heard any big flare-ups and stuff outside of the day 1. Obviously, we're only on day 2, going on 3. I kind of spaced out here. That's what I was looking for. Sorry. The group behind the protest Tuesday night is not affiliated with a coalition of more than 200 groups that has organized permitted rallies and marches. One that took place Monday and 2 more expected Wednesday and Thursday. Another rally organized by the U.S. Palestinian Community Network, a Palestinian Arab community-based organization, is planned for Wednesday afternoon near the United Center. Excuse me. So I do think that that's a good, solid, balancing highlight there. I appreciate that. But yeah, it just kind of felt like we had a lot of talk about, how this was so bad and how, like, this set of protesters kind of had it coming and they were being very violent and very belligerent, yada, yada, yada. I did want to also add this part, though, because I've kind of talked about this historical thing. I've been very kind of light about it. On Tuesday night, organizers rallied demonstrators under the slogan, "Make it great like 90" or "Make it great like 68," invoking the anti-Vietnam War protest that seized the city during the 1968 Democratic National Convention, which there is a lot of parallels there. I believe it was LBJ was stepping down. So there was also this weird vacuum in the Democratic Party that was getting filled in this moment, though I think historically Democrats go on to lose that race. So that's kind of bad. But the protests and demonstrations or whatever got very violent, and police was very physical. They were very down. We gotta fucking crash out on these motherfuckers. We gotta fucking keep this shit down. And they did. And yeah, that was very fucked up. They did a lot of damage to the people who were coming out and saying, hey, we are against this war, we're against what's going on right now. And there are comparisons that are very similar here. I do feel like there's a big difference in terms of, like, you know, when it comes to Vietnam, we had skin in the game because of potential draft. I think that there's the added connotation of, like, once you saw what was going on in Vietnam, that was like, oh, wow, no, we were definitely coming out on the streets just for that, especially because this is maybe the first time this technology is being used and showing you this in, like, vivid color. That does something to you. I get that. But I think that the fact that there is that kind of quote unquote less skin in the game, these are issues that are in a foreign country. So, like, yes, I think there are plenty of people, especially in America, that are very upset about this shit and do want this shit to stop. They do want, you know, us as a nation state to stop funding and supplying this fucking genocide. But I think that lack of skin in the game does make it where it's like, yeah, you're going to see less people out, less people, you know, who are going to have that kind of reaction of like, no, we're not just going to stick to these fucking, you know, parade routes or whatever the fuck. No, we are going to actually go and try to actually make some change with our demonstration. Which I get, you know, I understand that at least. So yeah, okay, you know, I tried. I did my best there. But the spirit of news is leaving me now. I feel like I did the best I could. Yeah, let's call it good there. I know I went too long, so mea culpa. I'm sorry. Oh my God, why don't you keep doing this? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's been 40 minutes. I'm like on my baby Joe Rogan shit. And I don't even have a guest, so like I'm sorry. Feel free to chop these episodes up. I don't know. You know, we're just going long, man. We're just going through it right now. What can I say? But yeah, if you'd like to support the madness, if you want to support the effort, Becoming Newsy Today, I do shout you out at the top of the month. That's coming up soon. Plug a project, thing you like, whatever, you know. Let me be your billboard. Let's see, free ways to hit me up, isaiah1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Hit me up there, whatever you want. But hopefully you're subscribed to the YouTube. That really helps. And leave a cool comment. Sharing is caring. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.